Hello, hello. It's me, Cynthia, and Marty Balbon, and Azalea, who is
Hi.
behind the camera. Hello, we are Greengirlstudios, and this is our Wednesday edition of Magic Hour. So, I'm going to give folks a few minutes to join us before we get really underway. If y'all out there could give us a thumbs up if we need to adjust the internet or anything like that. That'd be great. Oh, I see our friend Cecilia. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Sorry we missed our Sunday edition. That was kind of crazy. Usually I can make it back in time. We were wrapping up the big crappie that was this weekend. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of sales, and that was awesome. We saw a lot of our friends come and see us, which is also really good. And oh, Cecilia says everything's perfect. Thank you. It's good times. That's good to know. Sometimes it can be stressful. That's the thing about doing the lives that can be kind of hectic is dealing with the technology part of the equation. So tonight I thought I would do a little preview. I wanted to show some of the necklaces that we got. I wanted to show, and by got, I mean I finished. Oh, Pat, thank you. Is great. Oh, sorry, but yeah, I missed doing it. I was like, man, it's 7:30. We didn't leave the show venue until 7:30. We had a little bit of an issue with getting out. And by issue getting out, I mean we loaded up everything on Friday. Almost everything was loaded up on Friday. And all the big stuff, tables, big display, that type of thing. And then when we were leaving, we did not consider, hey, we're going to have to do this in batches. And so when we were sitting on the sidewalk, we were standing there looking at each other going, we have a hatchback. How are we all going to fit? And so we had to do it in two trips. So that's why we did not get out until it was like 8 o'clock. But I don't know why it didn't occur to me. You know how sometimes you're just so hyper focused on something? I didn't have time to turn around. And that was a good thing because it was very busy. It was very busy. I didn't get much chance to run around the show, but Azalea did. And there's a couple things I'm missing. I wanted to show off some of it. This is from our neighbor. Let's see if you can see it. It's a really cool cup. He burnt the inside. I guess it's for whiskey. This is for a friend of ours that likes to drink aged whiskey. So that's a neat. The company's called Orangewood, and they're out of Greenville. Pretty neat. And oh, this cat here on me. This is another thing. Greg liked his, and he had this one under the table as his like personal drinking cup. And I was disappointed because all of these size sold. So he was like, "You can buy this one," and so I did. That was the other thing I got from him. That's from our friends, our new friends, Orangewood. That was our neighbor at the show. We had another neighbor on the other side. It was Vink's Fragrance. Azalea got a rose body spray,
Body
oil, dry body oil. It's pretty nice. And then this weekend we have Yaladay, and that is hosted by our friends in Johnson City. Brian Saraway. He has a gallery called Holler House. I think they are in conjunction with Horse and Hero, but this is some of his work. It's pencil, isn't it pencil? Is it pencil and watercolor on paper?
Something like that, and then he like touches it up digitally.
He does digital. So this is Greg and Azalea. They love this guy. I love him also. He's a very sweet man. This is, what's this one called? Something with a, this is like a Lord of the Rings type of thing, the Sauron. And this is, what is this? Something with Gandalf's items. All these, you could tell who's in, that's Azalea. They all like that Lord of the Rings.
Me and Dad both picked it. Me and Dad actually picked some of the same ones, and then we sifted them out. We have the same taste, I guess.
Yeah, they have the same. All those Lord of the Rings. I was like, where's all this stuff? Because he has a lot of themes of like magic over the garden wall. That's what I was like. Where's all over the garden wall? You guys didn't get any of that.
I didn't even know.
There's a big stack of these prints that we have to think about what we're going to do with. Oh, thank you, Pat. They are beautiful. They are beautiful. And look at this. This is our friend Fionn How do you pronounce this? Arroyo. Not river. Arroyo. Arroyo. In that valley. Thinking of my Espanol. These are some good prints. There's a few shoved in this bag. I feel like there's more than one. It feels thick, like there's more than one. And so this is another artist that we like. Fian Arroyo. We were set up next to him at what was that one show we did over the summer? Where we set up? You guys were, I guess it was like Asheville Fest. I can't remember. But anyway, he's an illustrator, a local illustrator. And I think this looks like pencil and colored pencil, perhaps some watercolor. Maybe water. That actually, now that I look close, I think that is watercolor. And that's something. He has these grab bags of prints, and this was one. Let's see what else is in there. There's a couple more. This one I thought was pretty cute. Greg picked this out. I didn't get to walk around hardly at all. We were super busy.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was pretty awesome. No doubt about it. Yeah, we're gonna go. So what do we do with all these prints? We need more wall space. And this looks like another Lord of the Rings reference. Seems like there's a lot of Lord of the Rings references in here. You guys need to make a man cave of. They're big fans. I mean, I say that, but I also have my ring is when the movie came out. This is how big of a nerd. When it came out, I bought the one ring in 18 karat gold. It's engraved on both sides. That's how big of a nerd. And sometimes I wear it as my wedding ring because if I eat fries, my hands swell. So that's when I eat. That's the time when I can wear that. Okay, you guys sit. And I think that's it. Is that everything? Oh, I wanted to show some of the necklaces that I made. What I need to do is how do I do something? Oh, I was going to say, let me see.
What are you doing over there?
I am not disturbing it because I'm getting some. You ever get those things where people are texting you when you're trying to go when you're live? That's what happens. So sorry, I hope I didn't blink out. Oh, I see our friend Ann Gardan. Karen. Hello, Karen. Hello, Susan. Hello, my friends. I want to show some of my necklaces. Boy, my hair is like all over the place today. It's like all flyaways. I got all this stuff out because I'm trying to balance. Should I show this up above or like this? I'll do it right now and we'll see. So I finished this necklace. I finished a bunch of these. I went on a marathon and did like, I don't know how many of these I did. All at once. So I did some short ones. They'll have a nice price. So that'll be good. And different stones. I have one of these. Check this out. One with a little gator button. Isn't that cute? Kind of a sagey green color with a lot of juicy stones. So that came out good. Maybe I'll show it another way. Oh, Debbie says, greetings, ladies. I like that. Greetings. Karen says, I'm a big fan of that too. Lord of the Rings, it's a good vibe. It's a real good vibe. So anyway, tonight, before I get too involved, I bought these paints. I don't remember if it was part of a Black Friday type of thing or what, but it's a leather paint. Now, I've used leather paints before. I have the ones from Angelus. I just wanted to try those out. They were like $30 or something. I don't know. And I have one of my bags. This is what is this called? The sack bag. And I'm going to paint it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. It's going to be fun. We're going to do that here real shortly. Let's do it. I'm going to flip this camera around, giving it a few minutes. I can hardly believe that 9 minutes has passed already. Isn't that weird? I'm always so amazed by how fast time goes. And if you would have told me like 5 years ago, before we really got on this, that I would actually have trouble stopping myself from talking too much, I would have been like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Whatever. So I don't believe it. Going in a little bit tighter. That looks pretty good. This back. Let's stand. Some water. Oh, that's the card of Fion's card. Move some of this stuff out of the way. That's his. If you want to look that up, it's our friend. Makes nice work. Okay. Oh, and here's another one. I finished this. I did this during a live, I believe, when we had that pearl dip. Y'all remember the lucky dip with all those 90s pearls? So I finished this necklace. Ah, thank you, Paula. Paula says, Cynthia, you look so pretty today. Marty has his back to us tonight. What's up with that? Well,
he's feeling sassy.
He's feeling a little sassy. You know what the story is with that.
Show him a treat and maybe he will be more friendly.
And he'll be more amenable to flipping around. But these are hand knotted in between each one. Let me get a little closer. Yeah. And this is how I chose to finish it. I hate that sound, by the way. That's scraping along that paper plate. I don't love it. Gotta move that out. All right, it's in focus. Good. But I used this is a new component that we just finished casting with the floral hook. And you know what's good about this is I can adjust this. I get about an inch or so, depending on your neckline. You can have it here at the very end if you have a longer necklace, or at this point right here. So you have a couple of choices. And then this will kind of dangle. I made them so it's not, I kind of push it a little tight right here because I don't want it to be too easy to come apart. So there's that. And then I used a little sapphire right here with another tie dangle from Karen Hill Tribe. So this was all knotted. Let me see if I can that cat is like choking it up. You know, she was silent all day long, but as soon as it's time to go live, then she's got to sneeze or whatever. She's hacking it up down there. Okay, so you can kind of see what I did here. Yeah, it looks pretty good, huh? And the knotting. Oh, so to protect this and make it last a little longer, I did some crimp covers right over here. I thought the gold looked pretty good because it matched some of these pearls. See how they kind of look like pearls a little bit. But anyway, this one I finished. I didn't price it yet. I'm going to price a bunch of these tonight and tomorrow. And then we're going to either put them on the website. I think we're just going to put them on the website. Although, since we have Yalla Day on Saturday, and then we're going to go to the New Belgium, it's kind of short notice. I don't know how great this is going to be, but it's pretty short notice. So I don't know how it's going to go. I didn't finish. I forgot to do a few. These are some of my favorite ones. And there's probably something to that. Like I want to low level keep them. And that's probably why they're not priced. This is a rainbow one. I saw a few necklaces over the weekend. That was good times. Oh, and this, you guys saw this one with the new hook. This has been very nice, this hook. Azalea, what would your rating be on the new hook on your necklace? Would you say it is, what rating would you give it? Oh, hello, Abby. Hello. Oh, thank you. Paul says, wow, what a great clasp. So this is the other small one right here. Azalea has a necklace that I gave her for her birthday that looks very much like this. A little bit different.
It's a good hook. It's nice. And the only thing that I struggle with is sometimes putting it on because it's small.
Oh, it's kind of small.
It is small. It's really discreet though, because then when you're actually wearing it, you can barely even see that it's there. Like when it falls in the front, it looks good. Because it just kind of looks like it's part of the necklace, like not a big ugly clasp. But you kind of have to hold it near the veil and look in the mirror to close it because it's very since it's very slim, it can be a little challenging to put on, but it is overall very good because it hasn't come undone on my neck. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's a good necklace.
And then I had a bunch of these pairs of earrings that I made. Look at these with the water clear quartz. Check that out. Isn't that pretty? A lot of our friends and neighbors came to the show. I liked that. We saw our friend Hobie. He stopped by the show, say hi. It was pretty good. A lot of our friends stopped by to say hello. I hope the new Belgium, it's on the bike trail. I kind of want to ride my bike. I kind of don't want to work. Isn't that funny? I mean, not funny, but not funny, haha, but funny. Like today, I went and rode my bike, and it was so windy that I felt like I was on one of those exercise bikes. I was like, I'm not cut out for this. So I was thinking more like just relaxing bike riding. None of this like work. It was too much. So I only rode like a mile and a half. Debbie says, I like the hook. Much easier for older hands. Oh, and Abby says, my package showed up today, a week after they said it was delivered. Well, that's good news. I hate it when that happens. Or no, I mean, I love it when it happens.
I hate it when it's that
When it's that late. I don't like it when it's late. So I finished this up, but you know what? This was on a live. This was the Healer's Stone collection. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I did a sporadic look or assembly of stones. I think they look really good. And this one doesn't have a clasp. I actually tucked in, I'm looking for the end where I ended it. And I don't see where I ended it. Where's the end? Anyway, what I did was I pulled the two ends, I pushed them in, one outside of each side, and then knotted it and then burnt the ends. I think it's here. I can see kind of, maybe it's here. But it's very well hidden. You know, I can't find where I ended it. And this is just an over the head style. Oh, hello, June. Yeah, so this came out. I love these beads. There's probably a reason a lot of these didn't have the price. Some of the other ones they're in the tub. I put out the ones that have been seen many times. But the ones like this is one that's been seen. I have a whole bunch of them that, I mean, they move. The most thing that I sell is beads, polka dolls, but things like this in this range, I'll sell 2 or 3 in a show because it's like $200 or depending on how big it is. This is more like 60. This is probably more like, there's a lot of work. So I'll have to look at my notes for that. But anything, it's like I got to live with it for a little bit and then I'll put it out. I put these out, but only on like little stands and under a case because I get afraid that someone's going to snatch them. Because this is silver. This is about an ounce of sterling right here. And it's funny. I have a little bit of a weird moment. I had a little bit of PTSD sometimes when I put this on because this ring kind of caused a little bit of an argument at a show that I was working. I think it's actually at the Big Crafty a few years ago when I have one very similar to this. The other one sold, but he could not wrap his head around that ring. He was like, how come this is so much more money? Because it's a lot more than the other rings. I was like, well, number one, this is silver. And I had a version of it in brass. And it didn't have the eyes also. And he's like, well, it shouldn't, I know silver, so this should only be, because he was factoring. I guess he thought, he did casting as well. But he's like, that should only be, he's like trying to figure it out. Like,
it did have sapphire eyes.
I mean, this is sapphire eyes and
sterling silver completely, and it's very, very heavy.
It's a very heavy ring. And I was trying to explain to him, but he kind of tossed it onto the table. I was like, so rude, because he didn't see the value. But I was like, I go in and I detailed the wax before it was cast, so that's essentially like almost like a one of a kind, because I spent 2 or 3 hours doctoring this up, so it had little changes, and the suction cups are like more pronounced, and there's just a little more detail into it, a little more love. And so I charged for that, and it was funny because like the majority of my prices are very reasonable, but I did not have that as a very reasonable price, and I didn't care. I was like, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. This is a stone that was hand carved by a very famous, I got to hunt for the card to show the lapidary artist that did this beautiful quartz crystal, but it has a rainbow in it. Isn't that pretty? I kind of love it. So I didn't push that hard for this one because if it doesn't sell, I don't really care. I love it. So this is actually kind of a one of it. There's no other ring in my collection like that.
I've never even seen you put that one out. You really don't want it to sell. You just keeping it.
No, I put it out, and then I show it, then I take it back and put it right back behind the table again. I know, so smart. This one, I finished that up. That looks pretty good. Some of them were put out, and then folks had to ask me the price. This is not my best moment, but I'll price them all tonight, and then we'll take pictures and put them on the website. I'm still in recovery mode because that show knocked me down. I don't know what happened to me, but I could barely like see straight afterwards, but it was in a good way. It was in such a good way. This one I could probably get away with not having this little button on the end of it. And this one would have an easy price, I think, because it didn't take me very long. So I like to do several price points. Like this style, I'll usually do like 60 because it's not like the beads. I have to figure, the beads are pretty, like they're pretty high quality. If they were maybe lesser quality, something that's cheaper, you can get away charging a little bit less. But I don't know. I think some of these are sapphires, so real pretty. What else do I have over here? I had several. Oh, I made these too. Look at this. This is really cute. I got to keep an eye on the time because I want to show that thing. Isn't this cute? I had these components and I've been sitting on them for I don't know how many years. If y'all are interested in these, I can make kits or sets or something. You guys can give me a thumbs up. I wonder if Wendy is out there. Our friend Wendy, she won the last giveaway when we picked from the, when we were talking about comment section prizes. So the last one we did, we randomly picked and we did a thing and we looked at the comment section and we saw Wendy's name popping up a lot. So we're like, okay, that's done. We did it pretty fast. So she got the giveaway last time. Who will we pick today? We got about another 40 minutes. And we'll see. So we'll be choosing again from the comment section. I have a jar of beads. Where'd that jar go? Where I wanted to show. And it's like a little. Oh, here we go. I got it over here. We'll do. We were given last time she got that leftover kit that had been sitting around. So we're just like, hey, we'll have that as the giveaway. Maybe this time I'll do two. We'll see. Usually we just add them either to an existing order or we'll ask you for your shipping. It's like $4 or $7 or something. I don't remember how much the shipping is. So we'll be choosing. That's the giveaway right here. And then you guys, whoever wins it, can maybe say, hey, I really liked it in the live so everybody believes that we sent it.
Or post what you make
or
in the
post
group.
it. Post what you make.
So, and let us know that it was the giveaway.
So let everyone know. So then it's we're trying to grow the group. It's something. It's how we survive in this world. So we'd love to grow our group. If you can share with other folk, help us get it out there. That'd be nice. All right, I'm going to put this away and start showing off. So anyway, this is going to come. We're going to show some things. These are going to be on the website. We're shooting for tomorrow. It takes time to load it. Anyway, we have earrings. I don't know how many of these we're going to put in, but I made a bunch of earrings. And I have a bunch of these too in different colors. So I thought about making sets for folks. This is not the match. There's another one. I tried 2 sizes. I don't know which ones I like better. I think the smaller. I think, is it better if it's small? I don't know. It's too matchy. Hard to say. Anyway, they reminded me of those Grain. I don't know how to say that gal's name. Grain Morton out of Ireland, I think. She makes some eye earrings. And this is giving me that same vibe. Anne says, you have no idea how many necklaces I've crocheted in the past month. I am completely addicted. I'm going to have to do a craft show next year. I hope they sell either that or my friends and acquaintances will be very happy. Oh, that is so good. And I love making them. And you know what? I do make them for my friends. And maybe they won't sell right away, but they'll sell. And that's the thing is when you have a bunch of different price points, then that's why I make these because it's a fast make. I can make one of those in about an hour. So it's a good price point to have several things. Let's see if I have any more earrings to show off. Made a bunch of these. I have them in this box. Look at this tea box. So this is how I'll do my necklaces, all like this in this T. I got this at I don't remember where. I think at a thrift store, and it held tea. It didn't have tea in it when I bought it, but it was just an empty box. But it's perfect for shows because it's real thin. It's not like this wide, and I can stack two. I got two of them, so I can put necklaces, and it makes show tear down real easy. So anyway, that's why all the like the big pile of earrings in here and another pile in there. It's not real organized right now, but it has a magnetic closure that makes it easy to maneuver. All right, let's paint this purse. Let's see what happens. I've had it for a long time, a few years at least. So if it turns out looking not great, then no big deal. Ooh, Ann says, I've used all the beads I've purchased with you in Tucson last year. Oh, man, that's good news. I love that story. That makes me happy. I love hearing that things get used like that. I've used a lot of them myself. Abby says, I love the Persephone's gift mix. So excited to use it on something tonight. Love that.
Yay.
Pat says, little pair of green eyes. You know, I had these earrings that I got that were, I have some of these that were done, but they're encased in, they're bezel set sterling. I had a pair of green ones, but all these blue ones. You know, look at these. I usually have these in brass, but I got a few in silver. These are like a gray green. The other three sold, so that was good times. My favorite story. It's like the best sound in the whole world. I saw this thing on Instagram where for some reason people are doing remixes of this guy. I can't think that guy's name, Andy something, where he's like in a club and he looks ecstatic to be there. And then this lady's like, the sound of the cha-ching when you make a sale is the same. And I was like, yeah, I can relate to that because it's such pure joy, like the most joy. Oh, Abby says, I love your necklaces and earrings. Gotta get my ears re-pierced. All right, why am I keep showing that same one? I must be proud of it or something. All right, so let's do this. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this looks good. Let's try it. Okay, I got this on Amazon. We'll give it a go. I usually use the Angelus brand. They are extremely highly pigmented. I got them at Jackson's Leather Goods. I have like a very basic set. Only maybe, I don't know how many colors that comes in the set. Actually, I didn't get the set. I have, I bought them in ones and twosies over time. All right, let me see what this says. So make sure the leather surface is clean before use. You clean the item with soap and water. Okay, we're going to be doing leather, so I'm not going to do that right now. In order to obtain higher gloss and anti-wear, apply a coat of acrylic finisher after the pigment has dried. Well, the Angelus doesn't require that, so that's already a bonus for Angelus. Okay, so this must be their finisher. This is just sealant. You know what? I told Azalea, I was telling somebody. Sometimes at the shows, I randomly tell people weird and random things. One thing I came up was, like, our neighbor was talking about the smell of some of the wood, and I was like, listen, I have the nose of a bloodhound. I can smell. I was like, I could work for the government sniffing things like a sniffer dog.
Lord,
I was like, I bet I could sniff that and tell you what part is what. Actually, I don't know if that's true. But I do have a very good sense of smell. That's a really pretty color. What color should I use? I'm going to do kind of a rainbow wash type situation. And I'm going to pick out what is favorite. You guys, if it looks horrendous, then I will just have to accept that. It's weird they did a dark gray. Seems like you wouldn't need a dark gray. Oh, hello, Melanie. Late to the game, but thank you for joining us. I appreciate everybody that tunes in. I haven't even opened this. Let's see what happens. I don't really care for this kind of bottle. You know, golden paints, they come in that flip top. That's a little bit better. Boy, these are a mess already. Maybe we'll just crack that edge. I might as well just like a bandage, just rip it off. Kind of messy. Put that there. And I'll get a little bit out. I have a spray bottle here with some water in it. I'll put that there. Let me first take some of these apart. Maybe what I'll do instead of that is I'll just cut a hole. That's really pretty. Let's see how it looks poured out. More control. That pink, it's funny how that pink doesn't look as pink as the outside of the jar, does it? I'm just getting a little bit to see how they look. Already I can see a flaw with this arrangement here. I need to do all of them where they're not like this, where I have that little bit of whatchamadoodle. So I got these brushes. I think these are, I don't know what brand this is. Some craft store brand. And it was not that expensive. Pretty nice. I bet you won't be able to see any of that on this really dark leather. I'm going to try, I saw a bag on eBay, and that bag was $2,000. And Azalea was like, why? And I was like, I don't know, but it is. So it had a really pretty watercolor effect. So, no, it's not bad. Well, I'm using this right now like I would that patina paint. I'm just experimenting. I don't want to get too much out, although I do have a palette under my feet here that I was going to bust out with a water palette, but I just wanted to check this paint to see how it worked before squeeging out a whole bunch of it. Because what if I don't like it, right? And I want to switch to the Angelus paints because those are super highly pigmented. So I got a little white. I want to just see what happens. I'm ready to paint. It's kind of a toothpaste green. Let's see what happens. Let me get some of this too. You use it like medium instead of finisher. So it either pours out too much or not enough. Okay, I'll use that like, now let's see, maybe I need a bigger brush. Okay, I'm going to go back up a little so we can see more of the table. Okay. Let me remove the belt on this. I could probably replace this. You know, we sold some clothes that we'd been sitting on, so it was pretty cool. I sold a jacket, and I was like, I needed to have more stuff that I'm finding because it was pretty awesome. I like this green. So let's just see what it looks like. I'll do it on, let's do it and see what happens. I need a napkin. So far, I like that blue. What do you think, Azalea? Is it kind of dreamy or what?
It's kind of like a teal, turquoise teal almost.
So what I'm thinking about doing is just going and giving it a interesting kind of, maybe almost like a bug wing, maybe. I don't know. I'm just dry brushing at this point and seeing. I used to paint bags, and there was this fancy store when I lived in LA called Fred Siegel. And I dropped my bags there. And I would take up, like they called it, we didn't call it upcycling back then. It was just thrifted bags that I bought, like pretty nice bags. And then I would paint them. And then sometimes the gals would be like, hey, you had a custom request. And they would drop their bag off and I would paint. At the time, I did a lot of rose looking things. It was like kind of like tattoo inspired. And when I say a lot, I didn't do that many, maybe 5 or 6. Most of them I just did kind of watercolory look on. And then I did some for my friend Jess. We bought a bunch of bags and we painted. I say we, I should say I painted. The leather is really good. This says, folks said that the leather paint was still soft and it wasn't too stiff. So we'll see. I'm gonna try this. Oh, look how saturated that is. Is that you so saturated? Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful. Look at that, how bright. Love it. Ooh, hello, Connie. Right now, I'm being very, what's the word? Gentle, but I really love layering. And, if you're going to resell them, a bag, and if you painted it, sometimes you kind of got to take a look at your time because it can get really easy to put a lot of time in. And then, you kind of got to charge for it. So sometimes you got to factor in, is it worth it or not to do the effort of painting it. Although we did see several kids wearing hand-painted jackets over the weekend. One of Azalea's customers, this young boy, he was probably 10. How old was that kid? Not 10.
He was really little.
He was pretty little.
He could have been 5 or 6.
Maybe. He saw one of Azalea's dolls. His eyes bugged out.
He said, "What kind of creature is that?" And I did not know. So I said, "Well, it's a mystery creature." And apparently his mom came back the next day without him, and she was like, he did not stop talking about that mystery creature. So I'm going to get it for him right now for his Christmas, which is very cute.
Yeah, she's like, well, have you thought about what you wanted for your big gift? And I said, that kid, Azalea, just said that he wanted your mystery creature as his big present.
The mystery creature, because it was really cute because it had 2 button eyes that were set low on the face, far apart, immediately cute. And then it had floppy ears on the side, and it was made out of a soft brown minky plush. And it had little Frankenstein stitch marks on its body. So of course, that is desirable to a kid that likes a mystery creature.
Yeah, I think so. I see a comment from Carlina. Anne Garden, you're crocheting necklaces. That's awesome. I love crocheting necklaces. It is addicting. I would agree with that statement. I could make them all day long. In fact, I do. But, I don't love finishing them. That's the only thing. What do you guys think so far? Does that look pretty cool? That's just one. Phase 1 is like, I like to do a little bit of a rainbow look. Rainbow wash. I'm just getting a little bit more paint here. Where'd the lid go to this one? This leather is really soft. It's one of the things I like about it, is the softness. Needs more medium. Oh no, that's not the medium, that's white. I was like, this medium smells very similar to some of the other mediums. It smells like gel medium to me. Soft gel medium. The little bit of white gives it almost a luminous quality, almost it sits. Yeah, and I want to see them too. Post them in the group. And I'm using a little bit of medium as I go so that it is even in the sheerest layer, it's going to stay on there. Now, I've used acrylics in the past, and I had this product from Golden called GAC. GAC. I know it's a horrendous name for any product, but it was an additive that you could add to any acrylic to turn it into a leather or fabric paint. Now, I didn't paint a lot of stuff with it, admittedly, so I don't know. Oh, I don't want this one. Let's just see how that looks. This is kind of that, I don't know if I like it or not. It's kind of like, it's okay. It's like a highlighter, really. And I'll probably do several coats, and it'll have a nice, I don't want to cover it up too much, but I might do that ombre look. They sold surprisingly well. Of course, this is Santa Monica 20 years ago. We'll see how that goes for the holiday show. Who knows, right? You just got to run with it. Boy, I love that color. Ah, Wendy. Oh, shoot. That's I forgot that I did not put the I didn't leave the foil because it had such a big, wide open mouth. And that's why, because I never need it to come out that strong of a stream. Oh, Michelle says, so late. Missed you all on Sunday. Thank you. I appreciate that. We missed being live. I told Zoe, I said, I feel like kind of at loose ends now. Now what? But I will say I had been talking all weekend long, and I was kind of like The Walking Dead. So it was, I don't know how good of a live that would have been.
We would have been half asleep. Probably.
Yeah, I was kind of staring at the wall. When we got back, I just stared. Like, I'm going to sit here and look at YouTube on the TV and just watch whatever YouTube shows me. I was like, okay, you're going to play Gardener's World? All right. I guess I'll be watching Gardener's World then. Gosh, I love that paint. What's your thoughts, Azalea, on this purse that I'm painting?
It looks like your flavor. That's your color palette.
You think other people will like it?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think that someone's going to love it. I might even paint the strap or switch the strap out for a plain strap so I can paint it too. But I'm going to do several layers because I like how this is looking. I think it looks really pretty. Wendy says, I was actually happy as I was running so late on Sunday. And Bonnie says, how did the big crafty go? Well, let me just say, we did like 67 transactions on Sunday. I mean, granted, a lot of them were $8 sales, but from beads, because we saw a ton of our loose beads. But it was all day. There were people coming in. It was awesome. It was so busy. I sent people over to, oh, did I paint on the side there? I sent folks over to the Uncommon Market to see, see Connie. She's like, I heard Joanne said she went to both shows and then she reported. It's just she's going to do some do reconnaissance mission. Because I was kind of like, maybe I need to be at 2 shows. So this was just the pink and green, a little bit of white. And what else do I have in this mix? I might go over it. Sometimes I paint stars and things like that. That's kind of pretty. But maybe a jellyfish. I have been known to paint a crow on a thing or two. That's usually what I end up painting on. Stuff like this is a crow. I added some water that round. That's more of a glaze. What I've been doing so far is what's called dry brushing. But if you go into the cracks like this with more water, you're going to get more of a glaze effect. And I found wherever I put in the recessed areas doesn't seem like it ever rubs out. I don't know how y'all feel about it. What's your thoughts? Anybody like this style of painting? Hand painted bad. Maybe I'll go in with some spatters so it look like studio drop cloth. Maybe yellow or lime would be pretty on that. I don't know. Maybe it might go like sometimes what happens to me is I'm like, oh my God, I really like it. And then guess what? It doesn't go out. It ends up kept. But that means you did something good. That's what I always think. If you have a hard time with sharing it, that means you did, your path was correct. Yeah, I want this to look like metallic almost. If you add enough layers of the paint, right now from the screen and what I'm looking at, it doesn't look as colorful, but on the bag, it looks really colorful here. And I think it actually looks pretty cool. And I'm going to do more layers. I think it's looking really pretty. I'm going to flip it over. Ann says, remember I told you I was not going to Tucson this year. Next day, I had a 1,200 brake job on my car, so it was a good decision. Bonnie said, I think my nieces would love it. And what else do I see here? I see another comment. Yes, you're giving me some great ideas. Yeah, and these colors weren't really super expensive. Do you have to put sealant over it? Oh, hello, Lorraine. This says to put some sealant. Oh, and I see another one that says like abalone. June says, will the paint hold well on smooth leather versus the pebble leather you were painting on? You know, I think it will be fine. I have another smooth leather bag that I'm going to paint, and it's from Portland leather. It's this one. Actually, this is not that smooth. You guys can tell I have a palette, right? You see my palette? It's not surprising to anybody. I'm going to paint a mermaid on this. What do you guys think? That's what's going to happen on this one. This has the pocket, but I rarely use this bag. I don't know. When I started using Joanne's bag, every other bag, I just, they seemed heavy to me. So now that's what's happening to all my bags. I'm like, all right, time to go. I need to doctor them up. But I'm also putting the sealant. The sealant is being mixed in. I could go ahead and go over the whole thing. And I might get some sealant from Angelus because that's that brand that I really like. Those paints are extremely vibrant, extremely. And I bet I could go in there with some pigment powders if I wanted to. Come on. Maybe I need the hole to be a little bit larger. And some white. Or some white. This is pretty fun. I kind of want to go and find more purses. I have a bunch. I actually have some from the 90s that I've been sitting on. You guys are probably like, of course, you probably noticed that I don't really part with that much stuff. Like, do I have a lot of things in storage? Yes. Is it also out and everywhere? Also, yes. It kind of is like abalone, but I could lighten this whole thing up and also do another glaze with some clear or another darker glaze. But I think it will wear pretty well. I don't think it'll come off. But I'm also going to put a few more coats and see what happens. And I have some of my painted bags. I think they're upstairs. I did one with some crows and landscapes, and those look like paintings, and they actually look pretty good. My friend Jess kept a bunch of those. We had them at her booth for a while. I painted some for her, and we did probably 10 or 12 of them, and they were very popular, I think. Are the paints Ultimate Paints? These are Art Me acrylic leather paint. I just got these, so we're being experimental. I bet you could use those. The pigment paint or the patina paints. I think that would probably work. This has a little more liquidy. I think that would be expensive though, because those paints are in such a small jar, and those run about $5 or $6 a piece, whereas this whole box is, I think, 29 or so. So I would probably not use those particular paints for this project, just because it seems kind of wasteful. Need more of that red. I do think it looks good. It is like an abalone. And there's some scuffed up places where the leather is kind of worn. And look how it just easily disappears. You'd never even know that little chewed up spot was there. And now it's kind of protected. So if it's like, where it kind of looks a little bit worn and scuffed. Now it's like that didn't even happen. Do it on the bottom too, the whole bottom, why not? Oh, I don't have. Yeah, I could show some of those painted purses. Yeah, go dig them up. They're probably in my studio upstairs. My favorite one is one that I did with a crow and a landscape, and I like to paint crows, so I can paint them pretty fast in like any position. I'm going to grab a little of that. Wallets would be fun. Yeah, this is a pretty loose way of painting. I saw some of those bags I was telling you about, that $2,000 one. Now, granted, that one was like kind of looked like ice dyed, but I think this looks just as good. Well, it will look as good. The other one was more vibrant. I will say that it was a lot more vibrant than what I have going on here. And this is not as, like, it's kind of more subtle. So I think when I'm done, I think it'll have a nice kind of texture. Because, the other side where it was dried, it did not have a stiffness to it. And that's like the Angelus dye or fabric paint or leather paints were really durable. We painted at Hobie's house. Did you go with us when we did that design, when we had a leather party?
No.
We had a leather party at Hobie's house, and it was pretty fun. We made lighter cases and stamped them, and of course I made like a little frog booklet or frog sketchbook type thing. Ooh, I went a little to hog wild there. Let's see about that. I don't know if I love that story. It's okay. You know what? I only have those colors. Let's see about another color, because I have all these to choose from. Is that too weird? That's kind of weird. That's kind of ugly. Sometimes it's like, it's tempting to go like a touch ugly. If that makes any sense. Actually, maybe a little yellow. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe it might look good. Oh, Azalea, help me. What happened?
What are you doing?
Something got brushed. There we are. I had a moment of fear. Did I accidentally get out of the thing? Didn't want to accidentally X out. Needs a bigger hole. what does this say here? I see some things I missed. Oh, Cecilia says, I'm back for a minute. My husband home from hospital, but not doing well. We'll watch replay. Love you. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Cecilia. That's terrible news. I hate that for you. We will be thinking of him and hoping that he can recover quickly. We have a couple friends that have family in the hospital, and it's a little stressful. I know how that is. Here's a clear. Oh, that's white. Oh, no, that is clear. Why does the white and clear look the same? I have a wallet that is, I think it's a Louis Vuitton knockoff. I don't know what it is. Let's see how this pink looks on top. You know, if you have some where you do a kind of a push and pull with going a glaze, which is sitting in the crack, and dry brushing, you get a really neat, like, look at this texture that's happening. I know right now you're probably like, what is going on? What's Thornton thinking about over here? But it'll work out. Trust the process. It's a little like it's kind of bland at the moment, but after a couple of coats, you'll see it'll have a really neat handmade look. Maybe not handmade, but it'll look hand painted, and hopefully not in a loving hands of home way. And it can be, you know, the more dry brushing that happens, and I'm hitting a little bit of this finishing, the sealant, as I'm going, and that is going to keep the paint a little, like the layers of paint will have a little more flexibility. That's what these finishes are really. What you don't want is for paint to be stiff, and that's when you get cracking. So I would call this more of a rubbed finish. Yeah, if you saw it in real life, you could see it's kind of like an abalone seashell. I saw a comment that said that. And it really is kind of like that. And so, like, the more layers of paint you add, kind of change the depth of color. And you can keep going like I am. It'll be really mottled and interesting. I find that I love passages like right in here. Now, when I'm showing it up close, you can kind of see, or some of it, it's almost like a hot pink in the cracks. That'll stay and it won't be worn. So whatever does get kind of worn off will be black. Like the base layer of the purse itself, if it were a light colored leather, you would get more, your highlights. It's just like with a pewter when you do a patina on it. So this is kind of like a leather patina, I would say. Kind of like that. I'm actually going about it the same way. And I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know if you guys like it, but I have a good feeling about this purse and how it will be received. Well, what I'll probably do is wear it around the house and wear it out and see how it wears, and maybe wear it, you know, just to see, you know. I like to test drive my stuff before I put it out for sale. Now, we'll give that a minute to dry for a second. Then I'm going to get some lighter colors like this. Oh, I have a belt that's hand painted, and it's really pretty. If you want to go get it for me, little daughter, it's in my room on my bathroom door. Like that one hand painted belt I got at that place in Hendersonville.
Oh, okay.
Anne says it's starting to look like the Northern Lights. You know what? There's actually no shimmer. It's drying right now, but if you could see it, it's almost like the galaxy. And when it's flat under the light, it kind of looks washed out. You don't really see all the. I see a comment. It's looking really good. I have to find a purse to do this with. Does it have to be only leather? Does it work on pleather too? I would assume so. I mean, the box said that it would work on fabric as well. So
Is it?
Yes. So I bought this pretty recently in Hendersonville. I don't. Does it have it on here? It doesn't have the store. So there's a store in downtown Hendersonville, and they had these belts, and I was in need of a new leather belt, and so I really liked this one. And this has a kind of, I don't know what this is. I think this is marbling. Would you say that's marbling, that technique? Kind of looks like marbling, like how you'd marble paper, like you put the inks on top of a fluid and then dip the leather. That's what that looks like to me. I'm not really sure. I didn't see them make it, so I don't know. I think it has a neat look. But this reminds me of the way paint or dyes look when they sit on the surface of something and then you dip it like with paper or something. So I think that's the technique with this. But anyway, that was a store in Hendersonville. So a little bit away from, like 40 minutes away from Asheville. It's pretty cool downtown area. I went there, and that's when I discovered the Gem Society. It looks marbled. I would say so. I think it does. All right. Is that dry? Let me see. I just put my sleeve, all of my clothes down to, probably the only thing that doesn't have some paint stains are probably my socks. It's like every piece of clothes that I have has some paint on it somewhere. Trying to quit. I thought I put an apron on, but then I looked at myself and I'm not wearing the apron. So I just thought about doing it and didn't actually do it. Anyway, I think it looks really cool. I might take the strap. Look at this strap. I don't love the color. I never really liked the color of it, but it was on clearance, and I was like, well, I can always change the strap out. But it's maybe this kind of cotton material, and it could easily be dyed. It could be dyed black, and I think that would be better. Or I could just change it out, because, it has these things, but the hardware is pretty cool. See, it has it looks like a ball of yarn there. So anyway, let me try a little bit. I could go and highlight. Let me see if this is dry. This whole area is not dry. I just noticed it right there. We'll wipe it. And I will wear it around and make sure that before I sell anything, I like to make sure that it's still wet. I can still feel it. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Wendy says, that really turned out amazing. Those would certainly sell. That's my favorite story. Yeah, we did not mark our stuff super high price, and I think that's why we were so successful. We did we had all different levels of pricing at the booth. So I think that's important, at least for us. Some people have, more higher end things, and I think if you have that and it's all gold or all diamonds and finished jewelry like that, that's definitely a clientele for that stuff. But I don't know how well that sells at that particular show. I don't know. I think that in that case, you just really need to sell one ring and you're pretty much set. I'm going to try more of this. Oh! What's up with that cat?
She's hacking.
She has allergies. Try this color a little bit. We'll try that.
It's like, girl, you have to cough up the hairball now.
Well, sometimes that's the way to get attention.
Well,
this will be like glazing right now. This is going to go into the cracks. So let's see how it looks. Right here is kind of dark. Let's put that in there and see what happens. If it looks ugly, like I feel like, wow, that looks really ugly, then I can just wipe it. Just like that. And that just adds to the texture. Just lighten that area up. And then it actually brightened this. Oh, Wendy says, by the way, I just love and appreciate my mermaid charm and gift. Oh, Wendy was the recipient of the last giveaway. I'm so glad you're enjoying that. That makes me happy. One time we had a giveaway and it was sent back to me, and then I was sad. But then I realized that the person didn't realize it was a giveaway. And so then I just said, oh, well, it is. And then everything was fine. So this is what I'm doing here. Turns out a little bit bigger hole. It's good times. Sorry if that's distressing. I know it's kind of messy. A little bit messy. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with these paints. I think they came out, I think this is looking good. I don't know. We'll see how well it wears. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Trying to open this yellow. The yellow will change it up and change this color quite a bit, I think. Or maybe it will. We'll see. I can get a little bit of a lighter green and neon green probably, because this is really, these colors are extremely fluorescent. But look how bright that yellow is. Melanie says, that is looking amazing, Cynthia. Never would have thought to do this. Well, we'll see how it looks afterward. And if it's pretty, or if it's like, wow, that's different. I need more of this business here. It does seem like it has a shimmer, doesn't it? But there's no actual shimmer. That's just the texture of the paint. Now, if I went upstairs or, actually, I don't know what, maybe they're right over here by my hand. I don't know where they are. But I have some shimmer paints. Those could easily, wow, look how bright that is. I mean, this light is not really showing it, but it is like a highlighter. Right here where my computer screen, it looks kind of like, just like a cadmium yellow. My eyes are reading it as fluorescent. So I have a little blue over here, and let's see what it looks like, just a highlight of that with that yellow. And then it's kind of, it's like a little bit of neon. It turns green. I think it looks cool. I'm telling you, can you guys tell I'm having a good time? Because this is pretty fun.
It's been over an hour. Yeah.
As I was like, it's been an hour. People probably want to go to sleep.
Maybe not at 8 o'clock.
Maybe not at 8 o'clock. Maybe, but I will say this is fun. So if you have purses or something that maybe leather would work, I don't see why not. I mean, it's not like the leather is critical for this to have any, like I mean, I have some cloth, and I'll probably try that and see what it looks like, just to see, just to be experimental. I like the green. Oh, wipe it down, and then you can still see the blue that was under there. I'll probably give it some more layers. But what I have noticed is that when it's not quite dry, it lifts pretty easily. So when I moved that with a napkin, it wiped completely off. So I think you have a little bit of time. If you don't like something, you have time to wipe it off. I was looking around for any more of that pink. Do you ever do anything with oldish nail polish? I have a drawer full. I don't know what you would do. Although I did see this one person that was taking nail polish and adding things to it and making new, or like reviving it. Let me see, is any of that pink alive? No. Let me see. That's a nice peachy color, kind of a pretty pinky peach. Let's see, where can we put that? We'll contrast it over maybe like on this upper hand corner right in here. See how that looks. Is it gross? It's not good. Definitely bordering on ugly, so we're going to wipe that down. Give it a little bit of
Bordering on ugly.
yeah, kind of ugly, going into the realm of ugly. So we're going to mute that down a little bit. And you know what I like is when I wipe it, you get some of the other colors popping through there. You know what would be good with this, y'all? I don't have one right at the ready in front of my fingertips, but a pom-pom up in here would be pretty ideal.
Random.
You don't think so? Pom-pom on there?
Out of absolutely nowhere.
No, right there on the side. Pom-pom, right there. In like a hot pink, in like the pinkest of pink. And I have exactly the yarn to do it. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to try this. Maybe I need a new red and see what happens with that. Let's try this one. Look how red this is. It's kind of a wild red. These, like on my screen, it looks orange red, kind of like vermilion. Hey, I didn't want to open it so big. Almost forgot. I'm gonna let that all out because it really comes out strong, like that whole bottle. Ooh, almost dumped that whole thing. We'll mix up this ketchup with some mustard here. See what that looks like. Ketchup and mustard. I saw nail polish used on Masonite, says Kaylee. I'm kind of curious about that. What's that look like? Ugly or good? Ugly or good? What do you think, daughter? Ugly or good? Let's see what it looks like. Oh, kind of blood stain. A little bit. It's giving a little bit blood stain. What do you guys think? Gross? A little bit, huh?
I don't know.
I've gone into a realm where it went a little murky, but do I love it or not? And so that's the kind of the fun part is when I can keep layering it. And so one of the things I like about painting is that you can kind of, keep layering, keep glazing.
Yeah, that does look fun.
It is fun. I'm having the time of my life right now, and I am not going to be able to stop. I don't know about anybody else, but that's my sickness is when I get into something, I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. It's too fun. So I recommend these. I don't know how well they will hold up. We will revisit this in like a week, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to do a bunch of them. I love how this rainbow bright purse is happening. I think it looks good. But I'm definitely going to seal it with more sealant, maybe a couple layers. So far, the dry spots like this, the backside's dry. Oh, Lorraine says it looks like a raku finish. It does. It's definitely very raku. I think it looks really pretty. June says, do you worry about the colors getting muddy from layering too much? Well, if they get too muddy, then I can just cover it up because it will change. With every layer, it changes just a hair. And if it really looks like trash, I can just go over it one more time or scrub it up with this damp piece of paper towel. So this is one side. I think it looks pretty good. And it's still a tiny bit damp. The gold or the orangey color gives it almost a kind of metallic look. Here's the other side. And it's dry I feel like it's dry. It feels soft. I can't feel it on here at all. Like it's not coming off on my hands. And it doesn't feel painted. So I'm going to go ahead and give this side a little bit of doctoring up, a little bit extra, as my grandma would say. We'll put a little bit on that part. Yeah, part of it looks a little murky on some parts. When I look at it on the screen, you guys can't see it. It almost looks metallic from my viewpoint. A little metallic. But I love it when it sits in the cracks. And right now it seems shiny, but from From here, it's like it's sinking into the cracks, so the teal is kind of popping right through here. You can kind of see that a little bit if you can see it. It's almost like right in here. That's real pretty. Man, I'm into it. Some more of this weird red. Actually, look, what does that look like together? Kind of murky. I don't know. I think that's a step too far. But you know what? If it does go where you're like, oh my God, it's too muddy, you could always go and cover it back up with another, like glaze it with a dark, and then it's like a cure-all. It'll cure that over enthusiastic orange that I went and layered in there. If I wanted to, I think it looks good though. I don't think it looks bad. I like it. And in real life, y'all, it looks way better to my eyes. You're getting a lot of reflected light from my dozens of lights aimed at the table. But it's pretty. So I'm going to do a bunch of these.
Maybe you
Get
can
ready.
post a picture in the group when it's dry and you're done.
Yeah, that's a good idea. In natural light, because this is real pink through here. And when I look at it on the camera, it looks just dark. It doesn't have the same like pink and purple. And as I move it, it almost looks metallic, but it's not metallic. It's flat. Oh, I like it. What do you guys think? This part got a little murky right in here, got a little bit blood stain, but that is not, like I said, I can go over it and it's dried again. It dries really fast. No feeling of plasticky. You still feel the leather of the material. I'm going to try it also on cloth just to see what that looks like. But yeah, so far so good. All right. Oh my, I've been on for a while. I think Marty's ready for a snack. And that cat he's been very patient. Hey, baby. He knows what's about to happen. Where'd your treat go? What treat? Where'd the rest of that treat? You know, I didn't get a bowl. He has a technique. Usually I have a little bowl because he does this thing where he grabs the whole thing and then pulls with his teeth. That cat. He is such a good looking cat. He's a hard working. We are listening to this. What were we listening to? I got thrown off looking at this cat treat for whatever reason. What was I listening to? What was happening?
I don't
Lost
know.
my train of thought. Get it, honey? See, he wants to do his biting technique. No bite. I don't want to put my fingers too close. Cindy says, what kind of paint is being used? So I have these paints. I got them on Amazon. And I have the Angelus paints that I got from Johnson's Leather Goods in town. That stuff is really durable. It doesn't come off. We painted a bunch of like these little lighter handles and a sketchbook cover I did, and it looks the same. I think they make a really good product. This seems pretty nice. I mean, actually, you know what I might do is, oh, honey, you're making a little bit of a mess. He's getting so wild. There, you can kind of see. What do you think, Azalia?
It looks really pretty. You made that real nice.
Thank you. What do you guys think? This side needs more work than the other. Like this right here looks a little like I missed a spot. And it's actually just dark red and purple. Oh, sorry, couldn't see the box. It's leather paint. It is leather paint. Here, I'll show you again. It's by Art Me, acrylic leather paint. They had some that had not quite 20, maybe it was a 12 pack. I was just being experimental, trying this other brand. I have other paints, and I just wanted to try these. The ones that I have from Angelus are really good. That's the brand that a lot of people paint sneakers. I've painted, like, I wanted those shoes from Coldplay. That was part of the reason, Christopher Martin's shoes. Do you guys know those? I don't know what brand of high tops he's wearing, but I want to paint myself a pair like that. It's on my things.
You've been talking about that. That's easily like
since
in his rainbow era. That was 10 years ago. Since you've been thinking about those shoes.
Right. So, well, listen. I think of it as like the cycles. We all get to our cycles of. He loves these so much, and this is kind of has to work for it a little bit. Look how he does that dragging, and
the bite and drag technique.
The bite and drag technique. I like the person, love the cat. Thank you, Cindy. Cecilia says it's looking good.
Well, where's his tie?
He shook, and that came off. Oh, you know what? I had this thing. Here's a little bit more now. Oops, that came out a little fast.
You catch it?
He did catch it. He caught it. He's not afraid. You guys want to see my display? So, oops. We put this together. There's his tie, his bow tie. This is for the table. I think it looks pretty good. That's the packaging. You guys saw me do the packaging. Oops. I was not supposed to lean forward. Anyway, when it's flush on the table, looks good. So anyway, there's a little taste of the table.
It's packed kind of double row.
Yeah, it needs to be, I don't know. I want to put something on the back side of it that says Greengirlstudios, made Nashville. So he looks happy now. He's a very happy cat. Oh, thank you, June. June says, love your packaging. I tried hard. I was going to up my game. I was like, I need to get into making it look good. All right, my friends, I'm going to turn it in. I have 2 more shows, 2 more this weekend. If you're in the neighborhood, come see us at Yaladay. That's in Johnson City. That's downtown. It'll be in the pavilion right in the middle. And we have the day after that, right on that Sunday, from 1 to 4, we will be at New Belgium. If you want to pick up something for a friend, I have things for you. I have very reasonably priced gifts for everybody you know. Everybody loves a charm, right? Oh, thank you, Susan. And I appreciate y'all commenting, and anybody that wants to share our videos, spread the word. That's a good time. We will pick from the comments section, and somebody that's going to be lucky, y'all are going to find out. I don't know who it is going to be, but somebody's going to be lucky, and we're going to do a giveaway. Wendy says Sunday. So New Belgium, it's 1 to 4. I have plenty of time to get home. So there will be a Sunday night live for you. All right, my friends. Oh, and I'm going to show you more of these. You'll see. This is like not the good side. This is the better side. I feel like more rainbowy. It has a better vibe. I might just redo the handle. I have some leather, or I have something else. There's a lot of possibilities for the handle. I love it when it's an easy fix. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for spending your evenings with us on this beautiful Wednesday night. We will see you on Sunday evening at 7. I hope y'all come join us then. All right, love y'all. Good night.
Bye.